What up?
Hey everybody, this is the weekly vlog. If you haven't subscribed, do it now. We're gonna be driving around, talking about the week, talking about the blog, and talking about stress.
Yeah. If you guys haven't read Peter's blogs this week, they have been awesome, and he's been talking about stress and how it's kind of like an invisible thing that can really attack your life in some bad ways. And what we've heard so far is just what
It's been amazing. Thank you guys.
Discussion it's been for a lot of people.
Yeah, I want to just kind of ask you, like, when did it feel like this needed more attention than just, hey, go be an introvert or go get some space? Like, when did you say, okay, we need to double down and we need to give this our full attention for a while?
It was definitely like when the physical stuff that you're experiencing became where you couldn't like ignore it or you couldn't power through it. Then it was like you don't have any other choice but to like really take it seriously. I guess it was easier for me to process what was going on because it wasn't my body. But
Yeah.
I was always just kind of like, nothing's wrong with you. Like, I don't think something's wrong with your heart or your chest or your breathing. I think it's like something is triggering it, you know?
And in the time,
That's kind of the...
I wasn't even sure of that. I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
What is wrong with me? I have been
Yeah.
healthy. I've been active. I'm doing pretty much the same thing I've always done.
Yeah.
So why is this different? What's going on? And I say stress is invisible because you can't see it working. You just see the effects of it. And that's what was leading me on this goose chase. And then when we finally got into the doctor's office and he said, "You're healthy," it was like a backwards compliment. In fact, I almost didn't want to hear that because I was like, you got to be kidding me.
You're like, no, it is real.
No,
Like,
there
I do
has
feel
to be
bad.
something that's not good right now.
Yeah.
What, you like, don't leave me hanging. And
Yeah.
he said it's just stress. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I don't know how all of this is just stress, but it does. And basically the stress was getting in my gut and then flaring in different places in different ways. By the time we got there, I think I had already been feeling the effects of this
For like a month or two.
pressure cooker for long enough. I was willing to make lifestyle changes. By that time, given the opportunity to just try out some different medication, and personally, I didn't feel peace about it. For me, it was a choice. I felt like personally, I felt like I was being offered a choice. Do you want to deal with the symptoms, or do you want to go on a journey and really like be transformed through this process? And that was honestly a turning point. By faith, we threw away the medication and we said, all right, Lord, teach us how to do this. I just want to say, like, it was a journey. It was a process. Where we started was nowhere where we've ended up now.
Yeah.
For instance, I started at that point, the only thing I felt I could handle was taking short sips of hot water just to keep stuff down. She took me to Galveston, which I referenced in the blog, and it was just like a little reset. It was an emotional reset to say, no, I will not feel this way forever. I will move past this. And that's the crazy thing about stress, is because it's invisible, number one, you can't see it, and because of it, you think that you're always going to be that way. You can't even see a future without it. And that's kind of, sinister. And so when you can separate the way you feel from who you are, and you say, no, I have felt better before this, and I will feel better after this. That gave me motivation.
I just want to say, whatever you are facing, nothing good comes from stress. Just like nothing good comes from bitterness. Like, both of those things, just nothing healthy comes from it. And if your body is in a state of stress, you're more prone to illnesses, you're more prone to like your body like shutting down on you if it's not getting the proper rest and the proper nutrition and everything. No matter what you're going through, I would just say if you work on the stress part of it, things can get better.
Let's get into some of the practical stuff, because I feel like, you know, I was doing the basics, we were doing the basics, but this process really was an invitation to change, to really overhaul my lifestyle. Can you start with some of the practical baby steps that you helped me walk through? Because I feel like I've come a long way so far.
So I think one of the first things you were saying, like, there was a point where all you could drink was like hot water to feel normal. But like before that, you didn't even drink water. So like that was a step.
Yeah.
Start drinking water. And then another thing was you felt so exhausted and like no energy whatsoever. So the thought of working out or doing anything besides like sitting, resting, anything besides that seemed crazy. Like, no, I'm not going to work out. Like, I don't have any energy. Like, I physically don't feel well. I don't have energy, so I'm not going to exercise. But when we actually started like going to the park, going to the trails, walking a mile, walking 2 miles, and like just getting outside and like fresh air, sunlight, motion, activity, heart rate increasing, like he actually started feeling better through that. When we would go to the park or when we would go to Galveston, I'm not gonna say it was like, oh, we were taking a break from like Wi-Fi and computer screens and phones and routers and EMFs, but that honestly might be a part of it. But just like getting that distance from feeling like people can reach you or feeling like you're connected to a device, you physically feel better whenever that happens. And I don't know how to even put it into words, but it felt like even just when we went to the beach just for the evening, it felt like no one could reach us. Like it felt like the rest of the world just didn't exist, wasn't there. Just that space between you and like the online world or whatever. It's just really healthy. Like, I don't know if it's just a mental break from everything that's going on, or if it's actually a physical break too from like the screen time. But I think both. Just even being at the park is like, okay, wow, break from all of that. So when did you start feeling better?
It was a both hand thing. It was working on the interior of my life, and just letting the Lord bring healing, but it was also a lot of practical stuff as well. In fact, I don't want people to think that it was both and, right? I was having friends pray with me, I was getting advice, I was getting affirmations, I was going to the Word, I was doing the basics, but the work was changing my lifestyle, and I had a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of work to do, but it's fun. So the reason I think this applies to so many of you, and the reason I want to put this out there, is because we have a lot of work to do. Pioneering is full-time, and you've got to have the stamina, the energy to go for the long haul. And I really believe after you go through this transformational process, you're not just going to handle stress better, you're actually going to beat it, and you're going to do far, far more than you could before you were getting stressed out by a little. In fact, the stuff that was causing pressure, I look back at it now and say, wow, that was it. And it's because I didn't just get help. I got a new operating system to keep going.
So what are some of the steps that you took even? Oh, they're hanging up Christmas lights.
Wow.
Wow, 'tis the season, everybody.
Let's do this.
Don't try to overreact, but Merry Christmas. Hey, guy, don't do that. Okay, so what are some of the steps that you took in changing for yourself what foods that you were eating? Like, what are some of the things that you started cutting out, changing?
So,
what are the baby steps that you started taking for anyone out there who's looking to do something healthy?
So paradoxically, I thought what I needed was to sleep more, sit more, and pull back on what I was eating, and really just kind of land on water. I had to rebuild. I literally had to rebuild my thoughts and my lifestyle around what was good for me. And I actually needed to get up, get moving, walk, drink water, get the right fuel. I mean, just that. I know it sounds really simple, but just for me to realize, oh, I eat food for fuel, not just flavor. That was huge, you know. And to have those changes, I can remember switching over to almond milk and then going to unsweet almond milk, like tasting unsweet almond milk and thinking, this is so gross, why would I do? And then just over time, it's like all day, every day, it's all good. And looking now at the other stuff, primarily sugar, wheat, I mean, I just don't miss it. I don't miss it. Now, I know that there are times where I'll probably splurge here and there a little bit, but I mean, really 95% of the time, maybe 98% of the time, this is the new normal. This is great. I don't want to assume that people have even gotten on board with the idea that they are stressed, because they would say, isn't everybody stressed? They would say it's part of life, or maybe they would think I can handle it. What are some of the flags that they can start looking for to say, you know what, it's not about being pessimistic, it's about being aware? What should they start thinking about or looking at?
I think one of your first flags is if you never turn stuff off. And I mean, like, if you can't turn your mind off of work, or if you can't turn your phone off to get away because you'll miss a call, or like you won't be available for somebody, or if you can't turn your email off, or if you can't turn your conversation away, then that would be a key indicator, like, this is something that is consuming you. Anything that you're like fixated on, if you can't put it to rest or like give it a day of Sabbath, then I would say that's probably something that is stressing you. I have felt stress in my life or in my job before, and I know whenever I start feeling something physically that's just like a little off, I can start feeling symptoms physically. Like, I will get a headache. It's like definitely a tension headache, and I know that that's stress induced. Or I will feel like jittery, like I've had so much coffee and I can't like get my heart rate to calm down, and usually that's stress for me. So if I feel those things, I'm like, you know what, this dumb thing is not worth me feeling physically this way, and I'm like not doing it. Like, if you're not looking out to make that connection between stress and the physical symptom, you'll just think, dang, I get headaches all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, wow, like
exactly.
My stomach is always upset, or like I'm constantly exhausted, or I can't sleep, I have bad insomnia, when really it's stress. So just try to like make those, you know, equations, or like think about a time where you were unplugged. Like, did you still have that stomach ache? Like, probably not. Like, it probably went away whenever you got out of that toxic environment, or whenever you actually got to step away and rest. I would say, like, yeah, just working on making those connections between a stressful environment and physical symptoms. Then when you feel that thing physically arise, then you can say, like, okay, no, I'm not gonna let it go there. I know that this is stress and it's not worth it.
The key to deal with stress is not to do less. It's actually to increase your capacity so you can do more. Stress is an invitation to grow.
So I've got a question for you. Because we probably need to wrap this video up. If somebody watching could just do like one change in their life, what would you encourage them to do?
The number one thing practically is to figure out how to get your energy back. Because when you get your energy back, you will be able to do the homework that's going to help you put points on the board. And I didn't even have the energy at that time. I didn't even have the energy to do the needed things like nutrition, working out, sleep. I know that sounds crazy to say. I wasn't even sleeping optimally. In fact, when I was going through some of the testing, it came up that even when I was sleeping, I was breathing so shallow that it was like I was in constant stress, even while I was sleeping. And so until you can get that energy, then I got my energy back and I said, I am never going to feel this way again. I'm never going back to this point again. I will do whatever it takes to push myself, to grow myself, to lead myself. And I just had the motivation to start doing the work.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you've had fun driving along with us. It has been a great weekly vlog check-in with you guys. And I think there's more to talk about still on this topic, so you'll probably have a couple other vlogs coming their way.
Guys, thanks so much for listening along. I hope you joined this conversation. We just want to be an encouragement to you and set an example that you can move forward faster with. I believe you're going places. That's why I'm willing to be so candid with you. And just remember, you got to prepare to go there. So put in the work now, and others will thank you for it later.
Stay tuned. Vlogs coming soon. Subscribe if you liked this. I'll do the work to clean this up. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Give us your email address. Follow us on Instagram. Okay, bye.